Hi guys, I'm Carrizo, writer for Esports World, and today I'm joined by Adrian, analyst and also coach for WooCard. How are you, Adrian?
I'm fine. And you?
I'm
I
good.
mean, I'm very eager to, answer your questions today.
Thank you for agreeing to do the interview. So my first question for you is, how did you get into the esports world?
Well, the first time I've watched esports was in 2014, and it was EMS 2014 Katowice. So it was final game between NIP and Virtus.pro. So actually, I didn't know that those were Polish players.
Mm-hmm.
But I was watching this final at my friend's house, and I was so in love. I was so in love with those players, how they played, how they just overly performed in that. Then I just started to figure that, well, I need to start being interested in that more. So I got to know about Virtus.pro. I got to know that they are Polish, so that was extremely great for me. That my country was actually one of the best in a proper game. So that's how I started. And then 2 years later, what I've done was just randomly started managing social media for the esports organizer in Poland. That was just a small one. I was probably just for students or something like that. But still, I was 12 years old and I started to manage the Facebook page for small organizer in Poland. That was the biggest thing for me. Well, not right now, but still, for that times, it was, of course, a very big thing.
And like, why did you choose to become a Valorant coach or an analyst?
I mean, this was one of my New Year's resolutions, I think, because I was like, I just wanted to have a massive improvement
Mm-hmm.
starting this year, and one of those resolutions was just to try out coaching and analyzing. And I've watched two cars playing in VCT qualifier last year against BDS especially, and I was just in A. I was so amazed that those players were so capable and everything. They were just amazing in those matches. But then I thought, well, maybe should I help him? Maybe I should help him. I mean, maybe should I just reach out to them? And that's how I typed on Twitter to David. And on 21st January, I think that was 21st January, I started to be an analyst for them. I mean, we haven't had coach right then, but well, they didn't know how to work that out properly. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
they just didn't know how to work with analysts solely. But I showed them some tricks, and well, it happened. Then, of course, Pirate Flag came as a coach. He's a Scottish guy, as
Mm-hmm.
many can know. And well, he left to Japan because he wanted to build a team around Japanese people that were playing various games like Overwatch, I think, in Fortnite. There was just one Japanese American person that was playing in NRG and stuff, and they just wanted to participate in this VCT qualifier. So I thought to myself, like, why should I not try coaching? I mean, I just wanted it solely for so long, but I didn't have like this. Um, I didn't know how to do it properly.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, I said to myself, let's do it. Let's become temporary coach whilst we're just searching, because obviously we're searching still for the coach that is communicative in Danish, but it doesn't have to be communicative in Danish that much, but still having lots of knowledge, because for now I'm not as experienced, and well, I'm just trying to help the boys, right?
Mm-hmm. And like, can you talk a little bit about your path in Valorant before joining WooCards?
So my path in Valorant started actually in beta. So I was playing for the day one, and I think not the very best, but I mean not the very first, but I'd say one of the first in
Mm-hmm.
Poland to reach diamond by then when the ranks came up. But I've played a little bit more, then stopped, and well, those breaks, like I just didn't know what to do with Valorant. I wasn't in love with that game by then, and well, I took massive breaks. Then what came afterwards is that I've tried. I tried coming back to Valorant, didn't work out once again. Took one more massive break, and then there was this one day when I started in October. I was like, okay, let's do it. Let's try reaching great rank. So in 2 months time, I think I reached Immortal once. I was just amazed by myself. Like, how could I reach that? I'm not that good in video games. I wasn't that good at CS:GO. I wasn't that good at League of Legends and stuff. But I saw I managed to do that, and that's how I got into that. Especially when there was just whole VCT stuff, 2021 going on, when Asen just won all of the tournament, like VCT champions. I was like, Stark, so Zeke. I was hearing about them a lot, but I wasn't that. I wasn't just interested that much in the esports scene by then, but still had a lot of that about them. But still, on the summer, I mean, after the VCT champions, I was just amazed. I mean, I've watched this whole tournament. And I was just like, well, this is my dream. I just want to reach the top somehow someday. But well, I had an episode where in summer I was watching a bit of esports matches, but then on the other end I didn't do much. I was just typing some random random articles for some portal. I don't know. Was that properly by now? Because I actually forgot about some stuff by now because there's so much going on right now. So I need to recall that, but it's not the time for for that now. Well, what is there more to say is that in January I reached out to Teb, who is a big Polish personality. I mean, uh, he's not known already in Poland, but he's still known in Valorant, very much in Poland. So yeah, I reached out to him, wanted to start being a caster, and what I've done is just cast one qualifier, second, third, and it all blew up. And as of today, I think I'm a good caster. I mean, I'm not maybe professional. I'm still perhaps a professional. Many can call that me. But well, I casted VCT last weekend, so that's a great achievement for me, I think. I mean, I casted in March too, and I casted lots of tournaments like Streamers League, like Valorant East United, which is third level of leagues in East. It's just the VRC level, and well, that's my career. I mean, I've got some projects that are going to, work out in a couple of weeks, I think. So that's still mm, b- that's still, just in front of me.
And do you think like the fact that you reached immortal and were like one on a high rank helped you also like in your career as a caster and as an analyst?
Well, of course. I mean, the knowledge there is just crucial. I mean, if you reach some rank, then of course you need to have some knowledge about the game. You need to not only have aim, but also the knowledge how to perceive some things in the game. And I mean, I wasn't that good of an aimer, right? I wasn't that good at shooting, so I've used my brain a lot, and that's why I came up to such a good rank. But it helped me. It helped me a lot when it comes to coaching and it comes to analyzing, when it comes to casting. Everything was just, well, great for me when I started doing it. And basic knowledge extended to the level that I can clearly do some very, very extended analysis on sport when it comes to casting based on how teams approach on a like VCT. I was just talking and talking and talking about how they might approach, how it should have been done or should be done. I don't know. It's just amazing for me that I can do that. I mean, I'm not that aware of that sometimes, but still, it's there.
And like for those who are not very familiar like with the coach or analyst position, like can you describe a little bit like what is your job inside the team?
When it comes to being an analyst, of course, it's preparing some spreadsheets and making analysis of other teams, searching up how they approach the game, what they do, what team comps they have, etc., etc. It's just um, well, in League of Legends, it's macro knowledge that you need to have lots of formulas. I think in Valorant it can be done too, but I'm not using that many formulas. I'm rather a role person because I'm not that into Excel yet. I'm just trying to learn, and of course, I'm going to study data science, so it's
Mm-hmm.
going to be great for me when I enter the studies next year. I mean this year, but next school year.
Yes, yeah.
So it's going to be great. When it comes to coaching, it's actually a little bit different because when it comes to analyzing, it's rather having an outside knowledge about teams, and when it comes to being a coach, you're just mm, from my perspective, is just having a lot of to do with the team. Like, mean expanding the knowledge about how team can approach. When it comes to being an analyst, for me, is that I was a bit separated from the team by the fact that I was watching lots of VODs from enemies, and when it comes to being a coach, I'm rather watching VODs of the boys. So
Mm-hmm.
right now, connected everything. I'm watching these VODs and these VODs.
And how is to work like with the group of players at two cars?
It's just a great cooperation for me. I mean, they're so pleasant and so understanding, and I mean, it's just lovely. It's just lovely to work with them. Danish people are overly, I think, positive. I'd say, but well, still, I need to get to know many more of them, of the Danish people, of course. But when it comes to certain Danes that are going to be hookers in that context, yes, they are very, very capable and understanding, and I basically love them.
And like, what are some of the intangibles that, in your opinion, like each player brings to the team, and you think are so important to the success you are having right now?
Well, the thing with our new addition, Sunshine, is that he just brought a new air, like a new thing, a new approach, and everything just, well, went more flexible. I mean, you could have seen that certain players were just playing not what they seemed to be playing before in Split One, and it is a bit connected to the fact that Sunshine is more flexible player rather than Yalo. I mean, Yalo was all good, but he was rather Cypher and Killjoy player. Right now, we can approach the game in many other different angles. So yeah, Mishu, he's just so sweet. I mean, he's just the mascot of our team. Basically, he's so lovely. I mean, the thing with him is that he's been server main for a lots of time, and what he brings is just a pure talent in there. I mean, he's very young. Well, compared to me, he's just 1 year younger, but still,
Mm-hmm.
he's very perspective, and everything is in front of him. When it comes to other boys, it's just experience there. It's just the knowledge they bring into the team and what they're capable of. Really, Mast is a great person that is having lots of ideas how to maintain the game plan, how to make sure that everything is working all fine. He's not an IGL, I guess, from my perspective, but still, he's a person that can lead everything there.
Mm-hmm.
And well, everyone else is just, it's all fine. It's all fine. I mean, everyone is just in this synergy, I'd say.
So, and like these sources from Ukars have been together for a good amount of time, right? And you have been achieving some good results. Like, in your opinion, what is like the next step for this team?
Well, the next step is to show how good we are. basically, and how adaptive we can get. Because
Mhm.
um my my approach to coaching and analyzing is to get as adaptive as you can get. I mean, there's this one thing that I am saying lots of times, that you need to adapt to opponents, otherwise you're just left out. Not only when it comes before the game, like, I mean, when you're preparing for opponents, but also on there when you're playing the official. It's, I mean, you can have your tactics, you can have your everything, but still you need to be sure that you can adapt to how people approach and how people are doing their stuff, so you can do it better.
And like, what do you bring to the team, not only as a coach, but also like outside of the game?
I'd say atmosphere. I'm always trying to be positive in that aspect, and well, sometimes privately I got my downs. Everyone has, and
Hmm.
it's completely normal. But when it comes to be on voice chat with the boys, even messaging them. It's just I'm cheering for them and they're cheering for me. So we're just on good terms and everything is working properly. I think the atmosphere is very crucial here. To
And
it's just working there.
like, how would you evaluate like the performance you had in the first split of the VLR?
Well, it's hard to say. I mean, it was a bit random. I mean, we've got just one win in first split, but it's connected to the fact that we weren't on that high level before. I mean, the boys were just playing in leagues, and I can't quite remember the name of the org that they were playing in, but still, there's just the thing with that. Oh, I remember the Axibite. They were
Hmm.
playing in Axibite, and I'm not sure in what leagues they were playing before, but still, it was just some Danish tournaments and maybe international, but not that many. So yeah, and you know, Valorant is just constantly developing. It's been only around 2 years,
Hmm.
2 years.
2 years.
Uh, yeah, so it's just, well, we haven't performed the best because of the fact that we didn't know how this may work properly and how strong the teams may be.
And like, what are the issues and like the things you need to fix or improve in order to like this time make playoffs and also have a good run in playoffs, in your opinion?
Mm, well, it's hard to tell too. I mean, it's basically, I think that we lack this comms between players and coach when it comes to screaming and playing officials, because of the fact that boys are communicating in Danish and I'm just an English speaker here.
Hmm.
I can obviously communicate in English. That's not a problem for me. I have no problems in communication in English, but on the other hand, boys are not that. Well, boys are communicating in English very well too. I mean, it's all fine, but still, um, it's not as natural as
Hmm.
it could be when it comes to communicating in your own language, because it's just natural for you to speak properly in your language, and they're just communicating in Danish, so I cannot understand what they're talking properly when it comes to screams and stuff. So I cannot improve basically how they may call out some stuff, so it is being improved and everything like that.
And like, how important do you think is to have like a great team environment? Obviously, you said you are a positive guy, right? Do you think like
Yeah.
in order to find success, especially at long term, like you need to have a good team environment, especially like outside of the game?
Yes, the atmosphere is actually key. That's why players sit there and talk and just basically have fun. They meme, they basically tell each other about their days sometimes. We are just having fun there. Um, it's just the atmosphere is key. Many people think that, well, atmosphere is just a bit natural thing to do, but it's still crucial to maintain it. Nevertheless, I mean, it can be natural, but still, you need to improve that so that it gets on higher and higher levels, so that you more living, breathing with that team.
And, like, do you think you guys have a really good shot at making playoffs this split?
Well, we are hoping to reach playoffs, but all the teams are looking good. And what I can say is that basically this split is um that strange, but not. I mean, it's very competitive this
Mm-hmm.
time, and everyone can basically win with everyone. So um, it's hard to say for that, as we just had 2 weeks going on, and the third one is coming actually right now today. So I'm hoping to reach playoffs, but then on the other end, I would be even satisfied for myself. Of course, not for the boys because they want to reach for the top. I mean, I want to reach for the top too, but as of my career, as of my experience and knowledge, I'll be satisfied with a fifth place too. But obviously, we're aiming for the top spot, and obviously, we just want to show who's the best, show how adaptive we can get, and how um, hard we were walking on what we've been thriving for.
And, like, for you as a coach, like, is it harder to prepare against more structured teams or like teams that adapt more on the fly, and why?
For me, it's certainly in the spot because, as I said before, the great ability for the teams is to how they have the possible adaptive energy. I mean, having this particular skill is just making lots of difference when it comes to official matches. If you're playing good, okay, you can even win the first half 10-2, but then when the other team adapts, changes the changes the sites, then it's I mean, it's just basically about not adaptation. Adaptation. Well, for me, it's hard to say for now, but well, there are straight teams that have fundamentals. There are straight teams that are having all of this with tactics, but then there might be less skilled team
Mm-hmm.
that's having tactics, but still can adapt more. So I think they are going to win against the team that is just having strategies.
So some of the coaches I talk with before, they say like to have a very successful team, you need to have like a mixture of both, play structure and also know how to adapt in the games. Like, do you agree with that?
Yeah, certainly. It's just mentioned, it was just mentioned before. Like everything is just so crucial. I mean, strategies, fundamentals. You need to have them because otherwise you would be crushed. But then on the other end, where opponents are showcasing something else, you need to know how to approach it. You have this certain situation. You know how to find bad spot, bad spot in that certain strategy or adaptive one, and you just need to think on the fly how to approach this.
Right. What is like the team that you are really looking forward to play against in this split of the VRL?
Mm, for me, it's going to be Excel, I think. Not because of the fact that they are just having the most stacked team, in my opinion, but mostly because of the fact that there's this fellow Polish guy. I mean, there's this Patterson of whom I was a fan when he was playing CS. I mean, I was a little kid then back then. I'd say I was can't recall. Can't recall. Obviously, 15 around that when I was just a media guy, just doing some social activities, and went on the event as media. And well, he was there. I mean, I was just amazed by the players that were on top of a level, even
Hmm.
in Poland. So the right now we can exchange some messages, we can type stuff sometimes. It's not the relationship that I'd say is very big because it's not certainly,
Hmm.
but still we're on good terms. Relation. That's it. That's it. Human person to exchange messages with. And what I want to do is I'd love to show him, Foxy and the crew, what we have in store for them.
And like, how do you manage to compete against teams like Heat, Alliance, Team Finest, like despite not having an organization?
Mm, it's hard. That's why we're searching for them. But it's all about money, I'd say. It's tough in there. The other teams have more ground to prepare, but hey, we're on top having lowest scores in the table now. It's still not that bad. So yeah,
Hmm.
if we haven't set scores in the league as of right now, we would get org, we would get financial and personal support. It could have gotten a bit better. So it's on top, but it can go even higher. So maybe even be finals and stuff.
Like, what would you say are some of the main difficulties like you guys face because not you are not signed to an organization?
It's going to be lack of tools and cost of trips
Mm.
when it comes to the tournaments that we want to participate in. And we have no boot comps. That's the thing, because having boot comps just makes your team more living within itself. You can basically expand your relationships with other players, so that you'll have more in common ground and just being in person with them, because obviously we're playing from homes, and
Mhm.
that's the thing. Everyone's just at their homes, sitting, talking and voice chat, but having a in person touch is just crucial there. So basically, the whole background out there.
And what are some of the things like you would be able to do and even achieve, like if you had the backing of an organization, in your opinion, Adrian?
I'd say probably even top spot in VRL finals. I'd say even VCT next year, because those players are very, very good. I mean, this is reachable. They have lots of potential, especially 17-year-old Mishu because of his age. And well, even Sunshine, he's a little bit older, but still he's having it. It's just this team is having lots of potential out there. And if there was an org, I would probably sign them alongside me and Bordeaux and everything. It could have worked even better. I mean, this has potential, and it's full Danish roster. So you want to have Astralis in Valorant, right?
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
so like, what are the main goals for UCARS for the remaining of this year?
Getting to VRL finals, but also participating in other small tournaments to show everyone who's there to try to win. I mean, we just want to play as much as we can, so that we can showcase our skills.
And like in for you as a coach, analyst, and also as a caster, like what are your goals for the remaining of this year?
Mm, when it comes to being an analyst, a coach, it is certainly achieving the top with the boys, but we don't know how it may get. I mean, it's only May, and June is coming,
Mhm.
and basically other teams are very capable too. So I'm very open for so many positions, even especially those paid ones, because obviously we're not getting anything in there because we're orgless. But still, I'm very eager to do it rather with boys, because I just got lots of experience with them, as I'm the analyst and coach right now. And I was analyst. I've been analyst starting 21st January, so that's a whole other experience that we can work with. And well, when it comes to being caster, I'm aiming for the top. Obviously, I'm not only trying to, just have some money from it, because of the fact that it brings somewhat of the stable, I guess, source of income,
Mhm.
so that I can improve myself and have a living there. But well, I could have done this only by having a small tournament and casting as much as it can get without being an analyst, without doing the code stuff and everything beyond that. But what I'm aiming for is to try to cast in English, of course. I've been casting a little bit in English before. I mean, was just around 2 PO3 or even 3 PO3. I can't quite remember. I was casting for the Polish tournament. We just asked if we can do it in English, and well, we've been practicing a little bit offline, and the caster I was practicing with, and who's going to be an English caster, who's trying to get into the English scene of casting, is also Maguire. So he's a very notable person. He's been notable caster for in League of Legends. He's even hit challenger in league, so that's an extraordinary thing. And I'm very happy that I can work with him and be such a good friend of him. Well, my main goal for this is not only being English caster, but also um well, perhaps getting into VCT Champions cast crew, not only in Polish, but can be in English. I mean, I'll be happy with a Polish one, but if I am going to reach top, I can really go in the English thing. But well, I need to improve a little bit as of right now. Yeah.
And is there anything else you want to say to the UCARS fans and also to the organizations that are looking for a great roster to sign?
Well, what I want to say is vroom vroom, and especially I want to say that boys are very capable. So for me, it's just they are very capable, and if you sign them, if you sign me alongside them, or just sign them, I don't know, like they're so much capable. I mean, if you're only reaching out for them, just try, and you might be surprised how good they are and how approachable they are. So it's going to be fine. And for me, it's a special thanks to everyone who helped me in achieving who I am. Of course, when it comes to the other special thanks, it's especially for Tep, who, as I said, is a Polish esports personality. And there's this one person that I wanted to thank most, Ateum. She's the dearest friend I could have ever had. I mean, she helped me get into the analytics in the first place, and is an amazing person as a whole. We've been heretics analyst in League of Legends, so I mean, she's great. She's great. That's my special thanks.
So, yeah, then thank you a lot for agreeing to do the interview. It was a pleasure talking to you. And I wish you and the boys at UCARS the best in the future. And I hope you guys get an organization as soon as possible.
Thank you very much. I'm very pleased to having talked with you too.
So it was nice talking to you, Adrian.